In the heart of cultural expression and personal identity lies a remarkable journey, the evolution of locks. These intertwined strands of hair carry stories of defiance, heritage, and empowerment. But this isn't just about hair, it's about reclaiming power. For centuries, locks have been criticised and stereotyped. So let's celebrate those who wear their locks as a badge of honour, giving locks the space to demand the recognition and respect they deserve. While locks are beautifully woven within the Rastafarian culture, symbolising the rejection of societal norms and oppression, worn by legends such as Bob Marley, Chronix, Buju Banton, Coffee, Tippy I-Grade, and many more. There are an increasing amount of black artists outside of the Rastafarian community who celebrate their locks through music and visual arts, such as Burna Boy, Little Sims, the Bailey Sisters, Wretch Free 2, and many more. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Sabira. Come with me on a journey through time, guided by the voices of those who wear their locks with pride. From the streets of London, I try and find out a question that's been on my mind. Why are locks trending? And what do locks actually mean to those who wear them?
So how long have you had your locks?
5 years, nearly 5 years now.
I started my locks journey when I was like 12.
I think over 15 years now.
Wow.
I've been growing my hair for 4 years.
In 1992.
I've had my locks for 2 years now.
I have had my locks now for 22 years.
3 years.
I only put them in the 25th of February this year.
7 years, 7 years next month.
Either 11 or 12 years, yeah.
I started them in 2021, December the 12th.
I've had my locks for nearly 9 years, so it'll be 9 years in November, on November the 15th.
Do you do the retwist yourself?
Yeah, so I do my hair myself. I don't trust anyone's hands in my hair. I'm a self-taught loctician, I would say. I think at the time there wasn't a lot of like locticians out there or like influencers like with locks that I was following or that I could learn a couple of things from. So I really just had to like teach myself.
So why did you start your locks?
There's two main reasons why I started my locks. The first reason was because at the time my hair was going through a lot of breakage due to postpartum hair loss.
Yeah, I wanted to get them and I thought that I want to embrace the fact that I have locks, and I want to show that just because you have locks doesn't really mean that you're Rastafarian.
I was just getting tired of the other hairstyles, to be honest. So then I just wanted something where it was just easier for me.
I started to realise, do you know what? You can do so many different things with it, you know? There's so many different things you can do with locks. There's so many ways you can make it look professional. There's so many ways and unique ways that you can make it your own too.
Ever since I was young, I've always wanted my hair to grow long. You know, my dad used to trim my hair every 2 weeks when he was around. And then as I got older, I was like, no, I still want to grow my hair. I still want to dread it.
I wasn't a big comber of hair. I've always had lots of hair. And I don't want to get up and do twists and things every day. It's just a bit much.
The second reason why I got my locks was because I had locks when I was much younger, and it was always something that I wanted to come back to later on in life.
I'd actually always wanted locks. I'd always found them interesting, and I felt grounded.
It was a lot to do with feeling connected to my hair. A couple people around me had locks as well, and it's just the most natural, I feel like, and purest form of our hair. And in just allowing it to, like I said, with all the different stages, you're seeing how it grows, how it changes, and how it gets longer, and it's just so powerful.
I was getting fed up of damaging your hair. The weaves was just getting expensive.
Also, I think representation is very important. For me at the time, like I said, I was relaxing my hair and I was growing out a relaxer before I got my locks, and I was growing out my relaxer because I didn't want my daughter, who was 1 at the time, to grow up seeing me putting chemicals in my hair and straightening my hair and adding things to my hair in order for me to feel beautiful. And now when I show my daughter pictures of me with like straight hair or like a weave or extensions, she's like, ew. Do you prefer the term locks or dreads or dreadlocks?
Dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks is kind of like a negative term to call them. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not what mine are. They're beautiful and, do you know what I mean? So I've started to call them locks.
It's all the same to me.
Okay.
It means the same to me.
I just say locks because it's just easier.
I don't think there will ever be a time where I refer to them as dreads just because of where it stemmed from.
I'm gonna be so real. Dreads sound better. It's only recently I've been making an active effort to stop calling it dreads and start saying locks.
It doesn't sound nice when someone says, oh yeah, I like your dreads. Like, you say, yeah, thanks, but it's not like healthy thanks.
Yeah. When people say dreadlocks, you know, it's like a term of, oh, they're dreadful rather than beautiful.
Why do I need faux locks when I can just grow locks? It's as though locks have become nothing but a trend, but on the low locks are actually me just loving myself naturally. And no, I don't miss my fro locks are powerful. Look how we show locks are versatile. We can beautifully style and cane roll locks. And I know locks take time, but this kind of patience is rewarded, and I know some of you don't get it, so I'm so happy this documentary is being recorded. For so long, locks have had such a bad reputation, and I'm so happy that we've restored it. Like, the only thing that's dread about mine is that I saw the sign to get them, and I took so long to walk towards it. Like, I just wasn't sure if it was for me, but deep down inside, my core did. Now I'm locked up, and I love it. So pretty and easily afforded. Now when I think about wearing wigs or weave and relaxing my hair, it's just morbid.
So I started this new thing. Obviously you can't see it now because I have a hat on, but while I was doing my client's hair, I realized that his roots are really healthy and like really thick, and mine are like really thin. So I was like, why are your roots so healthy, innit? And then he was basically saying that he doesn't retwist his hair, innit? I retwist his hair, but that's like once every couple of months. It's not like religiously. Whereas I used to retwist my hair literally every single week, and it was literally every Thursday. So I was like, oh, maybe that's why my roots are thinning, and my roots aren't as strong, because I keep retwisting my hair, keep washing it, you know, just keep doing stuff to it. Obviously doing like tight styles. So yeah, I said to myself, yeah, fuck that, I'm not gonna retwist my hair until like the end of November. So I literally don't touch my hair now. I just spray it with water, oil it when I need to, and then I go. I think for me though, a lot of my journey, you know, with having my locks was that like I wanted them to like be neat all the time, until I learned that that's quite damaging as well. Sometimes you just gotta leave your hair alone. So yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to step out with like that much regrowth, but it's cool, it's calm, and yeah, I'm rocking it. Obviously I have a hat on now, but that's only because I couldn't be bothered to spray my hair and do all of that, do my edges and whatnot, so just stuck my hat on.
Why do you think locks are trending?
Because I feel like people always admired the look, but weren't brave enough to actually get locks.
To be honest, I'm not sure why locks are trending.
They're more trending because like people like the looks of them. I would say mainly for like black men, they just like it, and then there's a lot of black women who like black men with locks. They're like, oh, I want a guy with locks and stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm putting it down to the Chinese hair industry.
I don't know if it's trending more rather than the fact that it's just convenient.
Okay.
Or because for it to trend, what's the deeper meaning behind the trend?
I feel like it could be because there's a rise of consciousness within the black community, and everyone is, you know, becoming more natural, more self-aware, aligning with their higher purpose, and how their hair should naturally be.
I don't think locks are trending. I think it's something we all have inside of us innately to want to do.
And then yeah, the fox locks for the girls, that really made it like a big thing where it's like, oh my god, I look good with locks. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's trending now because people are starting to be more at one with their culture and not caring. And I think that's how it should be.
A lot of these guys started growing their locks when the Chicago Chief Keef, do you know what I mean? Them kind of man, it's like drill, trap or whatever in Chicago. Them man they had locks in it.
Rappers like Chief Keef and Americans, like the trap stars, like they started doing it, that's when I seen people get locks a lot.
A lot of the Afrobeats artists, a lot of the hip hop artists, they've all got locks as well, so that's probably playing into it.
Honestly, I feel like since the pandemic, I feel like there's been a lot of rise in spirituality, and I feel like that's become more of an aesthetic now, and I feel like that links a lot to us culturally, especially as black people, like tapping more into spirituality. In more recent years, I feel like it connects a lot to locks, and I think that's why it's trending.
I think locks are trending because more and more of our sisters, I think, are recognising that long-term use of chemicals, it's no good for our hair, damages it.
There are more and more celebrities wearing locks, and I think people do look up to celebrity. Every generation looks up to the celebrity in their generation for ideas about how to be and how to live and so on. So I think that's a big factor as well.
Why Brixton? I feel like back in the 80s, well, I know that back in the 80s there was a really big lock community. A lot of Rastas resided in Brixton. Is resided a word? Reside. So yeah, we're gonna go there, see if we can bring them out of their little cave that they like to be in during the day. Yeah, scary, but good.
Well, first of all, I'm from Jamaica. And being brought up in Jamaica, there are certain principles and certain things that happen to black people, especially in the Caribbean. So, from my point of view, I started to locks when I was about 16, 17, when I started to question about religion and stuff, yeah. And then when I dig really in-depthly, I found out certain things that when, as a slave, they would trim you. That's the first thing they would do, and oil you down, shave you down. So, in my view, I didn't want it to be bought or sold anymore. So to identify that I'm no longer a slave, because right now the system it's still slavery without the shackles.
Yeah.
So this is just basically to identify that you cannot buy or sell me anymore. I'm a free man. Yeah. So that's why I grow my locks, to show that you can't trick me, you know.
What do your locks mean to you?
My locks, what they mean to me? I was raised as a Rasta, so I always see like with different meaning as well, because obviously where locks come from, naturally every black person would have locks anyway if we just let it grow and just
exactly.
part it.
That's what I say.
Do you know what I'm saying?
What
so it's actually our natural hair, the way it will form.
I love my locks. I can really do anything with them. I think my locks are very special because if you look closely, there's little bits of brown at the ends. And I think that's unique about my hair.
The amount of people I see with locks and we just nod at each other. You just nod. It's just an acknowledgement of
the infamous nod.
Yeah, that's it.
My dreadlocks are my antenna. That's what they mean to me. The interlocking coils that make up the hair of people from the African race form a interlocking interspiral antenna that connect you to the universe and to the world.
I know that my hair is very important. I know that my hair releases pheromones that draws the opposite sex to me. You might also know that we have 9 ether hairs. And just like the story of Samson and Delilah, to me it wasn't really a story. To me it was a revelation.
My locks mean growth.
My locks is part of my identity. It's part of telling people who I am, the sort of person I want to be, the culture that I represent, my pride in myself and my culture.
And I've realised there's a connection. I could be walking down the road with a complete stranger and he nods at me and I know it's because I've got looks.
The love of like self.
I myself believe like I'm quite spiritual. And for me, it was connecting with the spirit, mind, body, and soul.
It's like my watermark. It's like my trademark look, I guess.
You see a lot of them artists, it's coming like they have some secret way of growing hair, fam, because they can cut it, grow it again, cut it, grow it again.
Yeah, it's true.
No struggle. It don't look like they're going through any struggle with it.
A lot of artists have cut corners. and have had lock extensions put in, because I feel like it's really obvious who has grown their locks and who has just attached it onto their head, because they just look a little bit different. I don't even know what I think about it. If you're going to commit to a hairstyle that bad to pay for extensions, and they're quite expensive, and then attach them to your hair already, and then keep it in your hair for like 6 months, you might as well just get locks, right?
Yeah.
Because really and truly, you're like diminishing what locks are.
That's it, journey, innit?
And in fact, you don't have locks, you have extensions.
Right, that's...
As our journey through the world of locks comes to an end, I spend some time reflecting. We've met people from all walks of life who remind me of the shared notion that locks are a symbol of self-acceptance, creative expression, and spirituality, and that everyone's decision to lock their hair is personal and holds several different meanings for each individual. So are locks trending? Yeah, I believe so. But whether you choose to lock your hair for spiritual reasons, non-conformity, a popular trend, or simply because you love the way it looks, remember that your hair is a reflection of your own unique journey and should be celebrated as such.